Got it. Oh, no, I don't. No, I don't.
What's up, guys, and welcome to the Quick Diz Takes podcast, episode number 81. I'm your host, Tim LeBeau, with sincerest apologies from last week. Last week, apparently, we were having episode 30. It was supposed to be 80, but it was episode 80. So my mistake. But here we are, episode 81. Your host, Tim LeBeau, alongside Mr. John Castano.
Hi.
Ooh, that was delayed. Very non-enthusiastic hi from Johnny.
Yeah, demure.
Mrs. Sarah Castano.
Hey, howdy, hey.
Please like, subscribe, share with your friends. The more the merrier here at the Quick Diz Takes podcast. We have a lot to get into today. We got the news, and then we got to talk about one last time. I sort of promise one last time we will discuss the controversial topic that is the Galactic Starcruiser. Obviously, everyone in the Disney community is aware that they have now started the media previews, and we'll leave that to the end. But we have, if anyone of you that follow me on Twitter, I've already seen that I was tweeting out. I was a little busy tweeting last night when I seen this stuff. I am
Twitter bug.
I have opinions. We all have opinions. We'll get to them. Anyway, with the news, away we go. Sarah, what do we have this week?
So I was very happy this week with our quick Diz mentions because we have speculation to engage in.
Yes.
Yeah. And it made me think of a friendo of ours who I think should do this speculative piece, should it be real. So anyway, speculatory premise here that changes are coming to Tomorrowland's People Mover in the Magic Kingdom. I love this ride.
Ooh.
Johnny adores this ride. Like, a lot of people love this ride. So there has been a posting for a voiceover casting call for a classic attraction at a major theme park, which is exactly how it's worded on the listing, for something called ORAC, O-R-A-C. And the listing goes on to say, this ORAC has great enthusiasm and passion for the job. ORAC genuinely enjoys taking visitors around his favorite destination, and that the vocal range for ORAC cannot be too high, too low. It needs to land right in the middle. So the casting call goes on to provide that the storyline is for an enthusiastic AI taking us on a tour of a futuristic land. Now, the reason it's presumed to be the People Mover is because ORAC 1 was the name of the People Mover's announcer from 1985 to 94. So it is possible, it's always possible, but it's possible they're looking to update the recording, possibly revamp the storyline. But as it goes with speculation, Disney themselves have not confirmed anything, but may very well indicate there's some refurb or an updated recording at the very least on its way. So voiceover people, find this casting call and get your recording in.
Tomorrowland Transit Authority, Metroliner nonstop.
Get Andy Mack on the phone.
I knew you'd know who I was talking about.
Andy Mack on the phone. Guys,
Andy!
Imagine that'd be kind of cool.
I was just going to say,
Andy Mack will probably try out if I know Andy Mack. He probably already knows about this.
It would be better if he didn't tell us and then we just go on the ride and it's just Andy hanging out with us as we go around Tomorrowland. Like, what?
One thing I would say is, go ahead, Johnny.
I was going to say, are they going to change Living with the Land too? Because it's the same guy.
Maybe.
Well, I imagine.
Do they have a fight with that guy, that voiceover guy?
I imagine this casting call is out for this futuristic land, because now they need to add Tron in. Because you're like, in the background, you see the Tomorrowland carts. You see this, So they have to acknowledge Tron. That's my theory.
But I mean, that guy's still alive and he's.
Oh, yeah, that's true. I wasn't even thinking about
young,
acknowledging Tron.
Because it's taken 85 years. Anyway.
They acknowledge Tron, and it's obviously not speculation. I mean, it is speculation, but it's pretty obvious. I mean, it's a future land. What else is it going to be?
It doesn't say Disney, but what other popular large theme park?
Yeah. Okay, so that's the one thing that leaves it for speculation, I suppose. But you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yes, back to our quick mentions. Sorry, quick Diz mentions. Guests have confirmed and reported with delight that buffets are back at both Boma and the Cape May Cafe. So previously, with the reopening from COVID, Cape May Cafe. Cape May Cafe was not buffet, but it was a seated, but it was all you care to eat. So they would serve you essentially one of everything. And then wait staff would come back, ask if there was something in particular you would want more of, and then bring that to you. But it was not all you care to eat buffet style. It was a sit down style, but buffets are back.
Buffet COVID style, baby.
Still the upcharge. They're still keeping that upcharge for the crab legs and the well, I think there's an upcharge for lobster anyway, but it used to be all you can eat crab legs. Now that's still the, what is it, $30 for $35 for like a pound or something.
Yeah. But
well, I mean, we are talking Disney prices here.
Yeah, but it was nice. It was included before in the already expensive buffet, but whatever.
Yeah, everything.
That's probably the only like all you care to eat buffet that's worth it because of what the items are. Like the seafood, it has to be fresh. You can't do like. Yeah.
It was. I mean, when we went,
it was great.
The family style thing was really good. So.
And being from New England, we know what really good seafood should taste like. So.
Yeah,
we went all the way to
Florida
for Maine lobster.
Disney to find some seafood.
Yeah, I mean, it's not as
Maine lobster.
We can go down to a little shack down on the beach, and it's better than it'll taste better than the Disney seafood. But still, it's good for Disney.
Yeah,
it's good
for Disney seafood. Yeah,
little you missed home after a couple of days. Little taste of home till you get back.
Yeah,
something like that.
We'll go with that.
Yeah.
Effective February 25th through August 7th. Not sure why there's an end date, but going on. Walt Disney World is moving some of our more popular rides into the Genie Plus Lightning Lane and no longer offering them as individual Lightning Lane sales. So we've covered Genie Plus before. You do not have to have Genie Plus to purchase Lightning Lane passes. However, no changes have been made to early theme park entry for resort guests. So the attractions, I think there's only 3 of them that were added to Genie Plus Lightning Lane, include Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway, which I was surprised. Well, no, I wasn't surprised that one wasn't included. Frozen Ever After and Space Mountain. So Space Mountain, I was a little surprised they made that a Lightning Lane only and not a Genie Plus Lightning Lane. But those 3 attractions will be added February 25th, which has already passed, through August 7th. So I'm not sure why there's an end date.
Wait a minute. So those are going to where you don't have to pay for. Where you don't have to pay like the single fee.
Correct.
Okay.
So that will be included with the Genie Plus Lightning Lane.
So that must be like a summer thing, like a spring into summer thing.
Right. I was thinking that's probably their highest, like summertime. So like from now until the end of their summer rush, I guess, is what I'm saying.
Or maybe they're not getting the numbers they want on that, so they're just gonna test it out the other way. Who knows?
Or they're hoping more people will buy Genie Plus Lightning,
Yeah, exactly.
For that service instead of just the individuals.
Yeah, because those are on the fence anyway, as being like big enough and good enough to like pay for it.
Frozen Ever After, they obviously took off because Guardians of the Galaxy is going to go on it. I mean, I'm sure they'll do
good point.
I'm sure they're going to do a virtual queue for a little bit, but then that'll jump right to that. So they'll throw Frozen.
And then Tron's going to take over space too. So
mm-hmm.
And what was the other one? Oh, Mickey
and Minnie, Frozen Ever After, and Space.
They just might be throwing another one on there just because the demand for probably Rise is just so huge. I know that sells out.
Mm-hmm.
It sells out like you were trying to get a virtual queue. So I think that maybe they're just making it a little more worth it, and because it's that I did it in Hollywood. It was just I wouldn't do it again in Hollywood. It was just so difficult to do anything of substance.
Yeah.
Throw something else.
So only going to be one. There's only going to be one in each one of those parks now that you can pay for, right?
I guess.
I believe that's how it is. Kind of the e-ticket of each park is the individual Lightning Lane.
So what? 7 Dwarfs, Test Track, and Ride.
Is it Test Track? It's not Ratatouille?
No.
I haven't looked.
Ratatouille's no Ratatouille. That's
Ratatouille.
I think it's just because Ratatouille was virtual, and then the week we got The Monday,
the day after we came home.
We came back from marathon weekend. They switched it to just a standby line.
Yeah, that Tuesday, because I was able to get a virtual queue the day of the marathon.
See, it's really bad when your ride just comes out and it's not on the paid list. It's already like just came out and it's already not good enough to be on the paid list.
Well, I know that they were saying they want to utilize their virtual queues for like brand new openings. So it makes sense that when Ratatouille first opened, it's a virtual only, and then it will transition in as other things open. But having Guardians of the Galaxy open in the same park as Ratatouille, that's going to be the big draw. You know what I mean?
I think the word got out that Ratatouille is just a fine ride, and it's not like it's a new ride, but it's not new technology. So
yeah, everyone kind of knew anyway. It's been out for a while.
Yeah. And then once you rode it, it was like, oh, it's fine, but it's nothing I would pay, individually for.
No, it's welcome. Like when they said they were going to build out there, I was like, good, put something there. But
isn't Guardians opening up Memorial Day, right?
Something like that soon.
We're gonna get to that in the news. Spoiler.
That one's gonna be obnoxious. That's gonna be like another Rise opening where it's gonna be crazy for a while. Probably for a long while. Yeah, especially if it's good, which I'm sure.
Hopefully it's good.
Yeah, I've heard good things, like people that are involved in it that I've already like ridden it. Of course, they're not gonna say bad, but they're pretty emphatic about how good it is. I don't know. We'll see.
All right. Run Disney has announced their 2023 marathon weekend on sale dates. So Club Run Disney early registration, people can sign up on April 12th. General registration for in-person running will be April 19th. And then the virtual experience registration is April 22nd. So all of you runners out there.
I'll be doing that. Well, I'll be taking my break at work doing that.
Yeah.
What do you mean? Oh, yeah. I get you.
Sign up again, but
you're just doing the one race this time, right?
Nah, I'm going crazy again. One more time.
Oh, this guy's got. I got a feeling he's going to be saying that at the same time next year.
He's dopey for dopey.
No, because I think I'm going to do it one more time, and then I really would like to do every race. You know what I mean? Like so maybe like the following year I'll do Princess Weekend, or I'll do, if it's still
Wine and Dine,
springtime surprise. I just like to do
the series.
I don't think I'll do. Maybe if I did go down there, I wouldn't do Dopey 3 years in a row.
Maybe.
I said that last time. It became a pastime.
We'll see how the second one.
Yeah, exactly. Goes. Exactly.
Hey, you're getting an extra trip in January, so you should be happy.
Oh, I'm not mad about it at all.
She's just like, run, train.
Plus, I'd like to go to the Festival of the Arts.
The farts.
I'd like to do that one time, but it's tough to do it when you do a marathon week and then it starts the following weekend. So maybe skip a marathon weekend and go.
I do like the Festival of the Arts.
I would like to go to that.
We got Johnny's mom pretty excited. I was showing her like all the cool sidewalk chalk and all the little like the little not kiosks, but like little pop-up tents where you can meet the artists and see their work. And she's so excited. I want to do that. Oh, I want to do that. And I was like, let's go. So working on it.
The festivals are good. They're always good. All of them are good.
Showing her all the food from it too. She's like, well, that looks delicious. I'm like, it is. I bet it is.
Yep.
Hopefully Wine and Dine will start in like July again this year too. So that'll work out.
I will be signing up for the virtual Wine and Dine. I've made up my mind.
Maybe I'll do the 5K.
That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do the virtual.
I'd like to do one so I could do it, but there's no way I'm going to be able to run completely through it, but I could do it in a respectable time, I suppose.
Yeah, well, I mean, the 5K, you don't have to worry about balloon ladies or anything too, so.
No, and and when I don't run, I can still walk at a decent pace.
Yeah.
Much faster than most, so, Anyway.
Yes. Oh, sorry. Back to the news. Just kidding.
I should do the dopey and just like walk most of it. You could, right?
As long was it a 16-minute is the
there's plenty
the balloon
of
ladies.
do. I mean, you'll be walking. Well, you'll be walking all day. I don't know. Well,
what's the marathon pace?
16. Everything's 16-minute mile.
Oh, I can walk a 16-minute mile.
Because what time did we get to Epcot the day of the marathon?
No problem.
It was a little after 11. We got there, and we maybe were say noon. They were finishing up. The last person went, so that they walked for.
Although for everything I've heard about these balloon ladies, I was so pumped to actually see the balloon. There were no ladies with balloons. I didn't see them. I saw people on like the ATVs for the bike.
It was three ladies with one balloon tied to their waist.
It's a Mickey balloon too. I saw the so this weekend, people who don't know, this weekend was Princess Marathon.
When I was coming back to Epcot, they were walking up towards Magic Kingdom.
It was a Princess Half Marathon weekend this weekend. And so people were posting, and I was like, so that's what the balloon ladies look like. I would be more likely to encounter the balloon ladies than you would. So let's be very realistic here. I just want to know what to look for.
You run the marathon and then like you guys go do whatever. And you're like, all right, let's go back and like root Tim on. He should be coming soon. And it's like me and the balloon lady, and she's trying to beat, like it's so neck and neck.
It's speed walking.
I had to like lunge my head forward just to get there before she did, not get disqualified.
You get scooped up.
And then I have a heart attack and die.
Oh no! Let's not do that.
Oh, they're carrying me like you see the guys in the Olympics. I'm just like, the balloon ladies are carrying me across.
Well, I told Johnny, I said, I want to be one of like the people who go and they cheer you on, except there's no way I could see you and then make it to the finish line before you, because clearly I cannot run as fast as you. So he figured out like if I saw him at Magic Kingdom and then took the monorail back to Epcot for the finish line, I should be able to, but yeah.
You could.
You know, that's something to think about, actually.
You
get my wheels turning now. I could definitely walk the Dopey. That'd be something.
You hit Magic Kingdom
at
like 10 miles. So you have another like, you got
another
16 more miles till you get to the end. So
I mean, you got to stay focused. There's no doubt about that. There's really no mistaking about that. But
you just put the Rocky soundtrack on repeat in your headphones.
Probably.
There's some long stretches of nothing too. So.
And they're even long when you're walking.
Yeah. They're long running, so.
Yeah, and there's got to be people walking it, though.
Yeah, there are.
Of course, yeah.
Carrie's listening in the background there.
He's like, yes. Carrie, come join us.
Hilarious.
But just think, for all the money you're spending on these races, you are getting your money's worth of just time spent in the parks. You're not PRing. You're just saying you did it.
Well, I still have many capabilities, but running is just not going to be one of them.
Yeah.
Not ever was anyway. But point is, it would be something to finish it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Disney, like you said, you're not trying to break any records doing Disney. You're just doing it to.
I'd probably do better than I think. That's what I think. So I guess I can do better than I think if I think that. But either way, I'm thinking that I could do it.
This is like an episode of The Office where Dwight talks about. The enemy is my best. My enemy is my best friend, but he's also his own worst enemy. So now he's my best.
Yeah, it's like
lost me for half a second.
Yeah, I lost myself, but I think I made sense when it was. I had to replay it back later.
We'll listen to the playback.
Anyway, I'll keep you. I'll have to think about that. I'll have to chew on that.
We've also signed up for a 5K in Bristol in June. We'll talk later.
Yeah, you can practice that one.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh yeah, I mean, the 5K and the 10K.
Yeah, right? 3.1 and 6.2.
Yeah, those are. I'm not concerned about that at all. I'm not even concerned about the half. I've walked over 10 miles in my rehab walks. 26 is a different ball game. I mean,
that 5K in June too. They give you get to drink. They give you 2 beers and pizza at the end of it too. So that's a nice.
And that's all I need. That's all I need.
Me and you, Tim, we'll walk it.
Yeah,
Thursday night. Beautiful.
Jog it. Anyway,
Sarah's gonna be Sarah and Carrie be carrying me across the line.
Everything's fine. All right. Anyway, sorry.
Imagine I'm carrying Sarah. Anyway, that'd be a bad look for you. Guy with the bad heart's taking you across the finish line.
All right, back on track.
Yeah. Anyway,
Disney has announced that they are extending their park hours for all 4 theme parks in early March, but only on select days, of course. All 4 parks will carry these extended operating times from March 6th to the 12th only. So Epcot, your park hours are extended from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m., an increase of the extra hour at the start of your day. Hollywood Studios park hours are extended to 8:30 a.m. to 9 p.m., an increase of a whopping 30 minutes in the morning. So instead of 9 to 9, it's going to be 8:30 to 9. They had to do something to make it all 4 parks, I guess.
What is that? How do you come up with the math for that? Like when you're at Disney, exactly. Let's just give them like, and you look at like the numbers and you're like, 30 minutes is going to be an excellent addition to this day's schedule. Anyway,
Animal Kingdom Park hours will be extended from 7:30 a.m. to 8:30 p.m., an hour and a half in the morning, as well as an hour and a half at the end of the day, which it makes sense to open them at slightly earlier. Like I know 7:30 is super early for like someone's vacation, but animals are the most active in the early morning and in the evening where it's cooler. So it makes sense. If you're going to see the animals, your safari or whatever, that's the spot to do it. So you get a total of 3 hours at Animal Kingdom. And then Magic Kingdom, the park hours are extended from 9 a.m. to 11, an increase of 3 extra hours at the end of your night. So those two are kind of significant, especially with Magic Kingdom throwing on 3 whole hours at the end. Doesn't say why. It doesn't say for resort guests only. It just says, here you go for these 6 days. Merry Christmas.
Cool.
Yep.
Thanks, Disney.
Yay. In Disneyland Paris, last on our quick Diz mentions, Disneyland Paris will see the return of the Eurostar train service direct from London next month. In an announcement from the company intended to put families and park visitors at ease, the Eurostar announced service will return on March 25th, along with the fact that the trip will take 2 hours and 49 minutes. So this Eurostar train ride from London to Paris is approximately the same length of time as a flight from TF Green Airport to Orlando International Airport in Orlando. It's 6 minutes longer.
Okay.
There you go.
Yep.
As for our quick Diz updates, we previously discussed how Main Street Electrical Parade will be returning to Disneyland on April 22nd. However, we have new information that the nighttime display will feature, and I quote, an all-new enchanted grand finale that celebrates the theme of togetherness. So it's a way to help celebrate the parade's 50th anniversary, inspired by Mary Blair, a renowned artist for many of their works, Cinderella, Little Mermaid. Guests will see a different.
It's a small world.
I was hoping to avoid that because I know how much you love it, but we'll continue.
Well, you know.
Yeah. Well, yeah, she is credited with that as well. She kind of puts these different color schemes together that traditionally aren't used. So a different set of stylized scenes out of stories such as Encanto, Jungle Book, Raya and the Last Dragon, Aladdin, Coco, Mulan, Brave, and The Princess and the Frog, among others. I think it's pretty cool that they're adding Encanto into their, parade cavalcade lineup already, and especially with something as significant and iconic as Main Street Electrical Parade with their electromagnetic synthetic sound. I think that's pretty exciting. That's like a status thing right there. Like it's not official till it's Facebook official. You're not in Disney lore until you're on the Main Street Electrical Parade. Kind of.
Yeah, it's a nice show. It's a nice parade. I've seen it before.
Yeah.
I actually enjoyed that.
I loved it when it was in Florida.
I'm not a big parade guy.
I love that one.
By my own admission, but I liked it.
I hate parades.
Yeah, I did. I mean, I pretty much. Yeah, I wasn't going to go that far, but yeah, I pretty much do.
You guys only like
but that one was all right. It was all right.
Yeah, that one. I mean, especially like the last time we saw it was it the kids' second time being there? Whenever we saw it, so it was kind of like one of those. You watch it for the, but that one definitely is. That one's nicer because it's at the end of the day type of thing.
Yeah, that too.
Like the one in the middle,
sitting in the heat.
You got to sit there for a couple hours to get a good spot, and it's just like to watch.
But it was nice because you had the electrical parade and then you had the castle fireworks right after.
Yeah. So the end of the, I think that helps being the end of the day.
Yeah.
And there's something to it. There's more to it than like like you've seen 1,000 parades. Yeah. This one has something to it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So Disneyland will also see the return of Fantasmic, along with new sequences, pyrotechnics, and of course, Disney Magic on May 28th. Still no announcement as to when it's going to return to Walt Disney World. However, we've talked a lot about how they're doing work on the Maleficent float and on the steamboat and all these other things, as well as the mountain, the performance space as well. However, the moat has been refilled, kind of signaling that most of the refurb work has been completed at this point. And so it closed with COVID back in 2020 and hasn't reopened since. So I'm hoping all of the work is done. We're not getting any really updates from BioReconstruct, our eye in the sky. And Fantasmic is coming back in Disneyland. So I'm hoping with the moat refilling and all, we're soon. We're so close that we can almost taste it. I think I'm more excited for Fantasmic to come back than I am for Tron. And I'm excited for Tron. I mean, it's taking forever. Don't mistake my sarcasm about how long it takes for this ride to open, as I'm not excited about it. I think I'm just impatient. But I'm really excited that Fantasmic will hopefully come back soon. Seems to kind of go that way now.
It's coming. It's coming.
That's what she said. And Disneyland's president. Disneyland's getting a lot of stuff today. Paris, and then 3 mentions for California. Disneyland's president Ken Potrock has reported that their version of the yet-to-be-completed Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway will have some enhancements that Disney World's version does not have.
Already?
He didn't elaborate. He didn't give specifics, but there were 3 additional show scenes that were planned for the attraction. So prior to the opening of the Hollywood Studios location attraction, leaked blueprints clearly defined 13 show scenes, including both of the pre-show theaters. However, a permit, we love permits, permit filed for Disneyland's version listed 16 show scenes. So part of the reason for this could be that Walt Disney World had to fill their ride within the existing structure of the Chinese theater, while Disneyland's literally just creating the structure from nothing. They're starting from scratch. However, it will live inside the El Capitan Theater in Toontown of the California park, but they don't have a structure to kind of make everything work and spatially fit within. So they can add those 3 additional scenes that could have been, but we had to nix because of the space constraints. I think a lot of that is because they kept most of the original queue from Mann's Chinese Theater for the Great Movie Ride and just kind of revamped that piece to keep as much of that visual part of that structure the same for guests. I don't know. That's just kind of my take on it, but they're going to get 3 extra scenes that Florida does not have.
And yet again, Disneyland will have the better version of a ride.
I mean, maybe.
Probably.
Yeah.
Well, if it's 3 more scenes, it's better. It can't get worse.
Yeah. Unless they're 3 poopy scenes.
Yeah, but even if they're bad, there's still 3 more.
There's 3 more, which means it's theoretically going to be a longer ride as well.
Yeah. So Pirates,
with possibly more vehicles. Who knows?
Falling into the vein of Pirates and other rides that are better than the Disney World versions.
Yep. Close, but not identical.
Thunder Mountain, Johnny and I have complained about many times as well.
No.
Although I do hear that people like Disney World's Haunted Mansion better, but I'm not really sure because it's been forever since I've been on Disneyland. So,
and as Johnny alluded to earlier in a tweet that was quickly deleted shortly after posting, Disney execs accidentally posted a releasing opening date for Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind. So execs got to go on kind of a soft opening ride through the ride, even though not everything is completed yet. And so he was posting about how amazing it was and then said, coming soon, Memorial Day weekend, and then quickly deleted that, reposting with the same image and the same tweet minus the Memorial Day weekend portion of the text. So a couple days after that post was tweeted and subsequently deleted, guests at the park were able to see the queue's wait time. Signage was being installed along with the outdoor queue, and some more the hardscaping stuff was being done. But the blasters on that ship out front, that was added to it. But I just found it funny that he put it out and then went, uh-oh. It was very Tom Holland. I didn't say that. I didn't spoil it. I can delete it. But it was too late. People already saw it. They screenshot it. They shared it on social media, and then oops, a daisies is out there. I mean, if it doesn't open, it doesn't open, but at least we have a general time frame now. We know it's close to being done if you're putting out that kind of signage, and you can see the outer work is done. So just excited for that to open already. Especially my favorite part too. So
here we go. Bring it. Let's do it. Let's ride it.
Yes.
Don't say it. All right.
So headlines. 3rd time's the charm. Possibly, maybe. So you did also talk about Haunted Mansion. It was released on Friday that Disney will once again be attempting to make a film based on the non-IP attraction, The Haunted Mansion. This latest version, also titled Haunted Mansion, they're very creative, is slated to arrive in theaters on March 10th of 2023, directed by Justin Simeon of Dear White People, and starring Tiffany Haddish, Lakeith Stanfield, Owen Wilson, and Rosario Dawson. It has a slightly different premise. Of course, I cannot recall exactly. I want to say there's a widower and they call in a medium and whatever. The original attempt, according to the article that I was reading, there was an original attempt that was made to make a movie out of the ride about 20 years ago, but I couldn't find anything else. So I don't know if it was just that terrible that they scrapped it before it was released, or it's just that awful that they're not talking about it. It's like Bruno. And then the 2003 flop with Eddie Murphy would have been the second attempt. So hopefully This will be better. I mean, it seems to have people with, I mean, Eddie Murphy was a big name, I feel, but I feel we've got some more star power on this one.
I mean, the Eddie Murphy one's like not as bad as people say it. It doesn't do the attraction any justice.
Yeah.
But it's not like an awful standalone movie for like a family movie. I don't think.
I mean, I'm happy to say, God,
it's not what I want out of a Haunted Mansion movie. I mean,
people were very like lackluster about it. They weren't like so excited for it. So I'm glad that they didn't revamp the ride to include like an Eddie Murphy animatronic in there. Like they added Captain Jack Sparrow into Pirates, or we are speculating they're going to add The Rock or Emily Blunt into not Pirates, Jungle Cruise. Like I'm glad they didn't pull that into it. I think because it was so they kind of scrapped it. But
well, those movies were well received, and the Haunted Mansion wasn't, and I feel like with the Haunted Mansion, they should just make like Haunted Mansion, The Legend of Constance Hatchaway, or something like that, and like focus on the different storylines. Maybe make it a franchise more than just make one, and then I don't know what the idea is. I don't know what the idea is going to be, but
yeah, this one doesn't build off the 2003 version. It just kind of pretends that didn't happen. Like,
yeah, I think it's the best. I think it's the best thing. I mean, Disney's going, they're going to go back and try to fix all the Star Wars movies. So why not go back and try to fix Haunted Mansion movie as well? Retcon, as they call it.
Star Wars was a successful saga series.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And speaking of Star Wars, last up on our headlines, the Galactic Starcruiser preview was this weekend. Medias and vloggers were given a 4-hour preview of the newest Star Wars hotel on Friday. Some of the footage was quite underwhelming, including Rey's blatant swap of the really cool lightsaber, the one that actually looked like a real one. We were all really kind of geeking out a few months ago when they gave us the preview for a standard lightsaber that you could actually use within a choreographed fight scene. So for people who haven't seen it, she pulls out the really cool one, activates it, and you see it extend and feasible, realistic lightsaberness. And then she just gently sets it down and picks up another one. And like we were talking before we started recording and going live, and it's like she didn't like try to do a cartwheel, put that down and pick a different one up. They didn't go fight in a different room where she could swap them out. Like she didn't do like a weird spin where she could hand it off to a cast member behind scenes and grab it. It was just so blatantly, let me be careful and now pick this. It was, and I understand why they did it. It was just, they didn't try to hide it. It included food previews. And as it was just a 4-hour preview and not the full 48 hour stay, those in attendance that day were not given an option to choose from on the menu. They rather received a sampler of options, including space-themed pizza and blue shrimp. Blue and green milk are on tap, along with pastry-type snacks available for guests to enjoy. This new experience relies quite heavily on the use of data pads, which are your cell phones, to play games, interact with different areas of the ship, receive and participate in side missions, keep your itinerary going. So they did talk about how guests who are too young to have their own phone, that they'll miss out on a lot of those experiences. And it could essentially result in you feeling even further underwhelmed with the whole thing. But just something to consider, that it does require a lot on your cell phone. So I imagine it's a different app that you would have to download, similar to like My Disney Experience, in order to kind of get all that gameplay going on. Sample missions and activities, bridge training, all included in it. They gave little snippets of it. Some of it looked cheesy. Some of it looks like they gave it a good college try. Like they knew they needed to include this in this experience, but they just weren't sure how to make it happen. The rooms looked really well themed, although smaller rooms with a bunk could possibly be claustrophobic if that's an issue for you. They made it a point to talk about how the suites were much more spacious, and I'm sure that's a selling point. They want you to buy the more expensive room. One media reviewer, and I'm not sure which one because Johnny kind of had a few of them going, she described it as a simultaneous murder mystery dinner, escape room, and video game all in one. And I just kind of added on that it also happens to have sleeping quarters. So if you think about like the video game portion, you're using your phone for all these side missions and games and quests. A murder mystery, because I'm sure the first order is going to kill somebody. Spoiler alert, I don't know. Escape room, you got to figure out how to get people going. Like it makes sense of how she described it. So I think overall, from watching what was put out, They had a great idea with this like immersive and interactive structure. They knew they had characters and music, food, hotel shows. They had all these iconic pieces of this saga they built that you would expect to be incorporated in this experience that they promised, I guess, to guess when they announced it. And we talked about this about Galaxy's Edge too, that there's so much or so many details and so many specifics that they've included and shared within the context of the films and storylines, CGI or otherwise, that anybody fan or critic is going to be so critical of whatever's put out to us that it needs to be absolutely flawless and immaculate to get these rave reviews. And then consider the price tag that they're putting on top of all of it. It's just like a great big, like, little bit of a cringe, but it looks cool, kind of.
I'd like to start off by saying this is our headline. It's also doubling as our topic for today, just so everyone knows. And my opinion on this has not changed. I watched these. As a matter of fact, it might have even gotten worse because I bounced around mostly on the Diz Unplugs video, and I just don't get it. I don't get it. First of all, the price point is so high to begin with. That I mean, with that said, it's already understandable that it's not going to be able to meet expectation, in my opinion, to begin with. And then it felt like it felt lower than I could even imagined from what I can see on there. Like they're all saying it's great and this, that, and the other thing. That's fine and dandy. You get to go for free. You tried it out. Maybe I'm sure you had fun, whatever. But I look at that thing and I'm just like, come on. Oh, we're going to go to Batu. That's a selling point. You're going to take me to the part of the theme park that you can go to at any time. Now, for $6,000 for 2 days, you want to build another themed out Star Wars land that only that have access to?
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now we can talk.
And it's a 4-hour preview. So, of course, it's going to be jam-packed with all of their highlights and their best stories and their most interactive and the cool things that everybody wants to do, and not really any of that downtime.
Yeah, and they're playing that game on the bridge training, whatever it was. Mm-hmm. It looked so bad. Mm-hmm. It looked like the game you played at, like, remember when the Q and Space Mountain had a game in the queue?
Yeah.
John, you lost for words over here? I know you have something to say about this. Man's lost for words.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I couldn't quite get like how big it was. You know what I mean? The videos kind of, they were only focused on those certain rooms, so I can't get like the feel of how does it feel like you're on a cruise ship. Do you get that feeling at least? But like that main atrium area and like the dining room, they definitely looked, especially the dining room looked like the what's the word when they draw it for you? They draw the pictures.
The concept art.
Yeah.
Concept,
like, that looks good. I mean, like you said, like that, the bridge, you're playing a big video game with that. And even like the lightsaber thing, you're just putting a lightsaber in like a beam of light.
It looks so bad.
But that's what I was referencing when I said they had these iconic pieces from the story that they felt they needed to include, but they weren't really executed.
Like, I think I like the idea. I like the idea of like, because they did like we watched the Tim Tracker. He was part of the 4-hour preview, so he only got the thing. But the Diz Unplugged, like they did the full 2-day thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So in the difference between those two videos, like in those 2 days, like they were kept busy. Like they were always doing something, which was
it better be.
I guess that's good. Like they were.
It wasn't really downtime. Like if you're looking for a relaxing
like even
thing.
in that video, like it didn't. I guess another positive was it didn't seem like there was a ton of. It didn't seem like a lot of people are on this with you. So at least you get you get that more intimate experience, because in that video, like
$6,000,
the characters in the thing, like they would pull people aside and talk to you individually and say, you go look for this on the ship, or go when you go to Batu, go here. And so I don't know, I'm trying to think of positive things. I think most of the characters were well acted. Like these people have to stay in character all day.
Yeah, that's good.
And a few of them, like, because it was in the two videos I watched, it was two different groups of, at least like the lieutenant and one of the crew members were two different people in different things. One was better than the other, I thought, but whatever. But at least, I don't know. The food,
I think they got too ambitious. No one's fault. It was just too ambitious.
Yeah. I mean,
What
like I said,
about the food. Oh,
I'm just in the food. I mean, I know it's got to be space food, so it looks
spacey.
I don't know. It doesn't like that blue shrimp doesn't
look foreign.
Appetizing. Doesn't look appetizing at all.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I don't. In the end, I don't. It's to me, I would never spend that money to go on it. Even it's just not. I don't know. It's not enough. I mean, you're going from this secluded world of beer on this cruise ship with whatever, how many people. You get characters who are dressed up. You know, they got. I mean, like that. That one character, that girl that's like the DJ, that she's like the Rhodian, like Dorito, like that was a cool looking character. Even the girl that's a singer, she's got the, you know, she's a Twilight, the things. So and then you go on your day trip to Batu, and you're back. Nothing is themed character wise in Batu besides the cast members who are just in a uniform. There's no droids. There's no character, even if there's the face painted or some type of something. You're just with Disney guests pushing strollers around. You don't let kids.
You're with other humans. There's no other alien race out there with you.
I mean, I don't see what you could do unless you theme Batu better. Would put characters in, but like even the simple thing of you get off at Batu. You could potentially see stormtroopers and Kylo Ren standing in front of a ship. Then you get back on the cruise, and then Kylo Ren shows up on the cruise, having no, like you were just with him on Batu. But
right? How did he get there?
Yeah, like I don't know. They don't like. They don't. It doesn't intermingle with itself. It's too obvious. It's two separate things, obviously, but
too ambitious.
And especially like Chewbacca shows up Chewbacca's on your ship, but then if you go over to Smuggler's Run, he could be standing outside Smuggler's Run. So like that theme, it's like, you know how like when Mickey Mouse is when there's a parade, the meet and greets of Mickey Mouse disappear because Mickey can only be in one spot in the park. So if he's in the parade, he can't be meeting and greeting. But Chewbacca's in the ship, whether he's in what he's doing up on your ship, but yet he's standing with Rey over by where the
speeders are,
the vehicles are. Like
they should have just
the Millennium Falcon's docked up on your ship, but it's right there. It's just right.
They should have just made the
ride those things. It's weird.
They should have just made the Batu thing at the very least after the park's closed, so you had some kind of like private,
right?
Yeah,
time there.
Was it Disney Unplugged that was saying like they did missions on, so their time off while you're in Batu, when you're off the cruise, you have missions and stuff to complete while you're there. But that length of time it takes you to complete those, it also impacts the stuff that's happening on the ship. So I think it was Disney Unplugged. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't really know. One person of the 3-person party was back on the Starcruiser, and the other 2 were still in Batu, and so they couldn't go to the next mission. Like she couldn't join everything else on the bridge because the rest of her party was still completing another mission. So the crew got split up. But like when you look at it and nothing's like, there's no activities going on, there's no training, it looks really, really cool. The characters have like incredible costuming and makeup. Like there's a lot of thought and design and character and backstory put into them. The fight scene is choreographed. It's like what you would expect. Like you see the use of the Force, which I think we could figure out how they did that effect, but it's still cool that they included it and found a way to get that in. But like, once you start including guests, that's when it kind of loses that like credibility of how cool it is. And you see, like the fact that you can figure out how a lot of these are done kind of takes away the magic and it doesn't seem as realistic. And I know they did a lot of CGI stuff in the films, but that's kind of something you chose to take on and include when you put this out there, that that's what you were giving people.
Yeah. And are we supposed to, as people who have watched the sequels, we're supposed to realize in the sequels that when Kylo Ren and Rey interact in the sequels, that's the only time they've ever interacted with each other. And now they have a fight scene on this just random star cruiser that's whatever, it's for the rebellion, whatever but like, why? We're supposed to understand through watching the movies, they're connected through the Force, through whatever, and Snoke and connects them all together. So why are they fighting this random?
Because does this become canon now?
I don't know.
I think it is. I think it's the idea. So like we're now to believe that when we watch the movies again, that like off camera, they're having battles.
I get, and I'm not.
We don't know about.
I don't really understand. Like I think I'm assuming this is supposed to take place between the Force Awakens and the Last Jedi. I think because
I think they say that it's one of it's between those two. The other two, it's one of those between points.
There was some line of like Rey talking with Kylo, like how she's still not trained enough, but she knows it better than she did. So I don't know.
Probably then. I think I did hear that.
It's just I don't know.
They're getting crazy with all that stuff. They're going to have, word on the street is that Vader's going to fight Kenobi again in Kenobi.
Yeah.
So there's other stuff that we thought didn't happen that's going to happen. So same idea, just not on a show, on a actual.
I guess.
They're trying to intertwine the park with the shows. I just think the idea of like having a day out on Batuu, I get it because they're trying to like keep a cruise theme type thing going on, but I just think it's like throws it off, like Sarah said, and I think that it also goes back to what I said about being too ambitious, where they're just trying to fill time, and so they're like, "What do you get? Like 4 hours on Batuu or something?"
Something
I don't remember.
And is that optional? Like, do you have to go to Batuu? Like, what if you?
I don't know.
I don't think you have to.
No.
So there's things to do on the ship while people are in Batuu. See, for me, I would never go to Batuu then.
So you know how if you ever stood in the standby queue for Smuggler's Run, they have essentially it's a QR code game and the QR codes are very futuristic looking. They're not like a traditional QR, but they're hidden throughout the queue line, and you get different. Was it people like wanted posts? I don't know, but you scan them and it gives you something to do while you wait in line. So
or it tells you what's in the box. It's
yes.
Those type of things. Yeah.
So placed within Batuu are separate but interactive pieces for the Starcruiser, but you don't know about these things until you download the stuff from the data pad. So it could link that way. I mean, they talked about how there's so many different missions. You could get the same mission. I mean, you probably won't get the same mission as someone in your party, but you get different experiences, even if you come back time after time. And if you get the mission, you get a mission that you're not really crazy about. Like that's the one that was dealt to you. So I don't know. If you're looking for like a relaxing vacation, like these 48 hours are not what you're looking for. This is not the vacation you're looking for. Gunnar agrees. But like it looked like Johnny was saying with the transporters, that seemed to be really well done in the fact there's no windows on anything. You don't really have concept of like daytime, nighttime, like that kind of stuff seems realistic because obviously there's really no like daylight out in space. Like that stuff seems true, or true to theming, I guess. I don't know. There's a lot to take in. People are super critical, fans and critics alike. So it's like, I really want to like it. Like I said, just looking at things looks super, super cool. And once you add in the element of an untrained, unchoreographed and unscripted guest, it starts to crumble, I feel. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, we have to wait because none of the people that went on the 4 hour thing, and obviously the Diz Unplugged, like they were given that by Disney. So they're not going to like the Diz, they don't review stuff if they're given to it by Disney. They just show you the experience.
Mm-hmm.
Now I know that they are like them specifically. I know they have something booked that they are paying for. So yeah,
Sim Tracker too.
But Tim, I don't. Him.
I don't know if he's paying for that. That's true.
No, he's paying for it. They said, but I don't know if he has enough enough clout as like the Diz Unplugged people have enough where they can say their true feelings about Disney, and Disney will still offer them media stuff because they're just so popular. A thing where like Tim Tracker or like Disney food blog type, like those, they're very positive to Disney. Even, I mean, I'm sure they'll say if they don't like something, but they won't badmouth something.
Right.
So, I mean, you really just got to wait for a low-level blogger who doesn't get media pass.
Yeah.
To go
an honest review,
and give their honest review. And then again, we're just seeing videos, so I don't know. Maybe I'm sure like the detail and everything looks great in person, but I don't know. How do the screens look in person? How do like the screen in your room looking out into space? I don't know.
Think about the new fireworks shows. Happily Ever After was replaced by Enchanted. We were not fans when we saw the first, the video live streams of it when they first came out, and then we saw it in person, and it's significantly better, harmonious the same way.
Yeah,
true. I'm sure like the room looks good, the screens look good, but I think the video is enough of tells enough of a tale to understand that video game they were playing on the bridge is boring. The lightsaber stuff looks boring.
Like if you're not the person in the front row and you've got like that little dinner plate shield.
Disney knows how to theme stuff. So I have no doubt that like the theming and like that stuff looks detailed. It's just that extra. I don't know if it's the greatest story or
going to the bar and letting an alien girl dressed as an alien sing is going to do anything for me. At $6,000 for 2 nights. So it just doesn't look good. Like I just don't want. It's not even its own fault. It's just I'm going to maintain that it just was too much. The idea was like something like that you and a bunch of your buddies when you were kids in a treehouse would come up with like an idea. It's just way too ambitious, but exciting to talk about. Then you actually tried to do it. And there's just so many speed bumps and dead ends that you can't really work out because of the way things have to be. You can't have that experience because there's too many guests, and you can't shoot at starships because you got to share the space with 100 other guests, and it just becomes a game of asteroids, basically. With a bit better graphics on the TV in front of you, and I don't know. Maybe they should have thought about putting those games in room so that it was a smaller, more immersive situation. I don't know. It just doesn't. I'm not buying it. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, I mean, after seeing it, I think if it was cheaper, maybe I would.
Yeah, maybe
go on it just because the one thing I did like too was you if you wanted to be a first order sympathizer, you can do whatever you want, which was kind of cool.
Right. Yeah, I mean that would be that.
I mean, I know like
it's a $6,000 LARP.
Like
I've said that before.
It just comes down to it.
That guy that played both the lieutenant guys were I thought they were the way that they stayed in character, and they
were fine
to people like that. That aspect is really good, but like it's just tough I can spend less money and be at Disney for a week. Like it's just tough. It's just tough to want to shell out that much money for 2 days.
Not even.
I guess I could drink if I drink a ton of blue milk, maybe I'll get a little bit, what is it, $8 a glass on thing. So I like that.
You get the one with alcohol. It's even more.
You have about 400 glasses of that.
I mean, I thought it was cool that blue and green milk were on tap. That was pretty cool, but
yeah, you were excited about that.
I don't know.
I could bring Chris to Disney World with me and have him LARP as the general. He'll stay in character the entire time.
Yeah,
he really would.
I know he would. I'll put him in for 2. And then we'll run we'll make up a little script. We'll have adventures, and it is what it is.
Oh my God. Chris, if you're listening, please do this with us.
But anyway, that's enough of that.
Yeah. Yes.
That negative talk. I gotta get out of here anyway. My dog is going crazy and I gotta get to bed. So we will be back next week and we'll have a new and exciting topic. And Steven will be back.
Yay!
And the gang will all be here. And I got a feeling somehow we're going to still be talking about the Galactic Starcruiser a little bit. I don't know.
Well, the first official, tomorrow.
The first cruise is
Tuesdays.
March.
Tuesday is the first official.
Yes,
The
March
first cruise.
The first cruise.
It cracks me up. It's a building. It's $6,000 to sit in a building, have dinner, and play guys Star Wars and playing Star Wars.
Pathetic too is if you go on eBay right now.
Oh my God.
There's already listings for stuff that's only for sale on the Galactic Starcruiser that people haven't even been on yet. They're already putting for pre-orders because they're going on it. So.
And there's stuff that you can get in their gift shop that's exclusive to only their gift shop.
I think there's 1 or 2 specific lightsabers you can only buy on the thing. So they're already for sale. So
capitalism, baby.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. We'll see everybody next week. We're gonna get out of here. The dog's going crazy. Starcruiser looks terrible. And that's about all I have to say about that. All right. Take care, everyone. See you next week.